I was targeted by some kind of mysterious microwave or energy device. And that's the thing. All these diplomats and all these intelligence officers have been told to be on the lookout for anything unusual or strange, or feeling unwell and hearing unusual sounds. And lo and behold, people start hearing unusual sounds all around the world. I mean, these attacks now have been reported in Colombia in South America, in Vienna, Austria, in Uzbekistan, in Kyrgyzstan, in Russia, Australia, the United Kingdom. It's all over the world now. Diplomats and intelligence officers are seeing these things happen. I just think these conditions, these events that people are experiencing, medical conditions, medical events, have been happening forever. And now there's a new label, which anything now that happens gets shoved under the label of Havana syndrome. It's a very convenient category for people to put all these things. And of course, you've got a variety. It's not all just mass hysteria. It's a number of people are experiencing ambiguous symptoms, and they get redefined as, oh, this must be Havana syndrome.
Are there any weapons out there, Robert, that could do this?
Well, you know, the literature on things like microwave and sonic devices shows that because of the restrictions of the laws of physics, the research hasn't gone very far. And look, I have no doubt that, you know, there are microwave and sonic devices out there. One of the best sonic devices ever developed is loud noise. A number of years ago, the Philippine government used it very well. They were playing very loud Katy Perry music to break up demonstrations. It was very effective.
Poor Katy.
So, I mean, I think loud sound is probably the best one that's going for acoustical weapons.
That's interesting. And, you know, stores, talking about marketing with this, have used music to enhance sales and get people to buy by the type of music they play.
Yeah, you know, there's something I wanted to bring up with you, George, and I can't figure it out. There has been an ad, and maybe some of your listeners can know about this. There's an ad that's been playing about Havana syndrome all over the United States. It's been going for about a year, and they give a phone number, and they talk very fast, and I call the number, and nobody gets back to me. And they want you to report if you've had a sonic attack, occurrence. And they describe themselves as Tax International.
Interesting.
And I've called the number, other people have called the number, no one's gotten back to me, and it's just very strange. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not. I'll do some investigating into that, though, because that's weird. I wonder what kind of data they're trying to collect.
Well, it sounds to me like that's exactly what's happening. Somebody's spending a lot of money to find out who is reporting these symptoms or believes that they are being the subject of some kind of mysterious device. But it's a lot of money that's involved here. It's been going a long time. And then when you call the number, no one gets back to you.
Does it go to voicemail?
It does, yeah.
That's intriguing, to be sure. Robert, next hour we're going to take calls with you, but I want to take a little bit of time to talk about your book, American Hauntings. But where do people get Havana Syndrome, that book?
You can get it all through Amazon.
That's the easiest way.
That's the easiest way. It was published by Springer Scientific, and their imprint is Copernicus Books. And the best way to get it is through Amazon, like all of my books.
By the way, where were you born? I don't detect an accent from you at all.
I was born at the base of Lake Champlain in a little town called Whitehall, New York, which claims to be the birthplace of the United States Navy.
Aha. How did you end up in New Zealand?
Well, I asked myself that at least 3 times a week. And we decided to come here to teach, and it's a fantastic place. It really is. It reminds me a lot of upstate New York, and there's a lot of Americans here. It's a beautiful country. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Stay with us, Robert. Hold on. We're going to come back. Next hour, we'll take phone calls with you. We'll talk about American haunting as well.
Find out more about tonight's guest. Log on to coasttocoastam.com.
Sure, going to get a bunch of emails saying handle your report. Okay, just to let you know, I agree with that. So you don't have to bother. Bill Handle. Don't waste your time. Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
If you have rats in your attic or walls, don't make the mistake of putting out poison or wasting money with a company that charges you monthly to check rat traps. Rat Proof. For a one-time fee, Rodent Stop will identify and seal all rat entry points, trap and remove all rats, sanitize your attic to remove any nasty viruses, and remove and replace all rat nest-infested attic insulation. Rodent Stop is so confident that they can stop your rat and mice problems that they provide a lifetime guarantee. Read all the 5-star reviews on Yelp. If you have rats or mice in your house or business, call Rodent Stop at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343. We provide fast, friendly, and effective rodent control solutions throughout Southern California. Plus, our technicians are clean, friendly, and always on time. To stop the rodents, call Rodent Stop at 800-290-5343. Open 24 hours. Call 800-290-5343.
When people talk about how hot it is, I have to remind myself they're not necessarily talking about me. But can you blame me? And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
The Oasis pool is jumping. Jump into a cabana, lazy river, or a cocktail. It's all fun to us.
Number 4.
Keep It Cool giveaway. You can get an awesome vertical meal prep cooler when you earn 500 points on your rewards card the 16th or 17th.
3.
Mosin Lunch Special. High-gain barbecue chicken in a tangy soy cilantro sauce with rice and pickled veggies. Only $20 all month long.
Number 2.
Hump Day giveaway. Just earn 500 points on your rewards card 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and you're guaranteed to win up to $100 cash or free slot play.
And the number 1 reason.
Roberto Tapia, live August 20th. Get your tickets now for this number 1 Latin Billboard singer's return to Morongo.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times. Whatever happens, we have got it covered.
KFI AM 640 Los Angeles, Orange County.
And KOST HD2.
It's 5 a.m. What did you miss?
It's time for Wake Up Call with Jennifer Jones Lee. Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday. It's KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Could see those triple digits back by tomorrow, so enjoy this cooler, she says in air quotes, weather. Here's what's just ahead on your wake-up call. The California Attorney General has charged a former LAPD officer with voluntary manslaughter. LA County health officials say hospital patients with COVID-19 have nearly doubled in the last couple of weeks, and there seems to be a trend, a specific age group of people that seems to be getting COVID more across the country. I'll tell you who those people are. 5:05, we'll talk with ABC's Louis Martinez. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin plans to request the COVID-19 vaccine become a mandatory shot for all members of the military by mid-September. So we'll find out what the process that this request has to go through. I think it's a foregone conclusion. And then what do members of the military, what, if any, choice do they have? We'll find out. And lawmakers in the Senate are expected to give final approval for President Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure plan a little bit later this morning. And when and if that does come down during Wake Up Call or during the Bill Handle Show, I will let you know. Let's start with some of these stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The California Attorney General has charged a former LAPD officer with voluntary manslaughter.
Rob Bonta says there's reason to believe a crime has been committed and he will seek justice. June 14th, 2019, Sal Sanchez and his young boy were at a Costco in Corona when 32-year-old Kenneth French, who's mentally disabled, attacked Sanchez from behind, knocking him to the ground. Sanchez quickly opened fire, killing French and critically injuring French's parents. Sanchez has said he was defending his son. Sanchez was cleared by a grand jury, but the LAPD fired him in 2020 for violating policy. Sanchez's attorney says Bonta's decision is nothing more than a political stunt to go after cops. Sanchez was arrested yesterday morning. Steve Gregory, Kfi News.
LA County health officials say hospital patients with COVID-19 have nearly doubled in the last couple of weeks. As of yesterday, there were 1,503 people in the hospital with COVID back on Monday. July 26th, there were 745 people in the hospital. 346 people are now in ICU, and that's an increase of 23% from 2 weeks ago. Officials say between May 1st and July 17th, over 3,000 people were in the hospital with the virus. 92% of those 3,100 people were not fully vaccinated. The LA County Board of Supervisors is expected to consider a proposal for people to have to show proof of vaccination against COVID-19 to get into some indoor public spaces in unincorporated areas of the county. Supervisor Janice Hahn wrote the motion. She says because nearly 4 million people in LA County are unvaccinated and because COVID spreads more easily indoors, the board must consider if extra measures are necessary. Supervisors are due to review the motion today. Now, don't freak out. Again, this could be a very long process. All they're going to do is review this today. Then there are multiple steps that it would have to go through before anything was actually approved. So this one may take... Here's the thing. By the time that this one actually comes to a conclusion one way or the other, we don't know where we're going to be in the fight against COVID. So would it even be necessary at that point? I don't know. Federal health experts say kids are now making up 15% of COVID cases in the U.S.
In just the last week, pediatric cases climbing to 94,000, and children with COVID are going into hospitals at a rate nearly 4 times higher than just a month ago.
ABC's Victor Okendo says the American Academy of Pediatrics is pushing for the FDA to authorize a vaccine for kids between the ages of 5 and 11 as soon as possible. The Pfizer vaccine is currently the only one approved for children, but it's only for kids 12 and older. Now, I ask you parents out there, so this is just a me asking you question. I have zero skin in this game. Are you going to get your child the COVID-19 vaccine if they're between the ages of 5 and 11 and it becomes eligible for them? Or are you going to be one of these parents who says, heck no, even maybe you got the vaccine, but you're not going to get it for your kids because you don't like the idea of giving your kids the vaccination. I have heard this from multiple parents that they say, yeah, I'm fine all day long getting the shot, but there's no way you're going to give it to my kid. I don't know enough about it, or something like that, whatever their reasoning is. Are you that way, or are you one of these parents who says, no way, I don't want my kid to get COVID, so as soon as that shot is available to them, they're getting that shot in the arm? I'm just curious. Hit me up on Twitter, JJLKFI. Tell me your situation. You got the vaccine, you didn't get the vaccine. You got the vaccine, you don't want your kid to get the vaccine. You got the vaccine, and you can't wait for your kid to get the vaccine. I'm just curious what your reasons are. Like I said, I have zero skin in this game. This is not a decision I will ever have to make. Unless they say that we have to vaccinate the dogs or something like that, which of course will never happen. But that's what I'm saying. I'm just curious. Give me the insight that you have that I don't. All right, when we come back, we'll talk with ABC's Louis Martinez about the Defense Secretary planning to make it mandatory to give the COVID-19 vaccine to all members of the military by mid-next month. Right now, let's see why it's slow on the 91. Hi, Nick. Welcome back.
Good to be home, Jen, and it's just the usual morning drive as you make your way westbound along the 91 through the Corona area. Coming away from the 71 this morning, you'll be past delays for you to make your way towards the 241 toll road. Otherwise, not too bad. Continuing your drive further westbound on the 91 off the 241 through the Yorba Linda and
Anaheim Hills area as you make your way toward the 55. Got an update of something slowing you down. Pound 250 on your cell phone. Keyword is KFI traffic. Getting northbound or making your way northbound on the northbound side of the 110 through South LA. That will be still going for you due to Caltrans crews wrapping up shop in the area. Not too far beyond Manchester. Going to be a little bit sluggish for you, light and patchy here and there as you make your way ahead into downtown LA toward the 101 as you make your way past the 10. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Poliokini.
5:06 on your wake-up call. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Louis Martinez, welcome back to Wake Up Call. Let's talk about what the Defense Secretary is planning to put in a request for.
Good morning, Jen. What we're talking about is Defense Secretary Austin planning that the vaccine, probably the Pfizer vaccine, will be mandatory for all military service members by September 15th or even earlier if the FDA approves it as is anticipated right now. So this is him putting out the word that if the FDA approval comes out, we're going to make this mandatory immediately. If it doesn't happen until after mid-September, then he's going to seek an approval from President Biden to get a waiver so that it becomes mandatory, not just voluntary as it is right now. And yesterday, Joe Biden pretty much said, yes, I will fully support that if it comes my way.
Okay, this is such a strange thing because normally when you're in the military, you don't really have a choice. There's just a list of inoculations that service members have to go through, and that's it. So this then would be added to that list. What if a service member just says no?
That's really unclear because yesterday the Pentagon staff spokesman was asked just about that possibility, and he said, it's too early to speculate. Things have to be worked out. What we do know is that the vaccine right now, just as in the civilian sector, it's voluntary. That's because it's under an emergency use authorization from the FDA. Once the FDA makes it fully approved, which a lot of people expect is going to happen in late August for the Pfizer vaccine, then the military has said that we're going to consider whether we're going to make it mandatory. Yesterday, Austin pretty much said it will become mandatory immediately, and we're going to get the process working. So if you have some kind of an idea that you're going to reject taking this vaccine, there are certain things that are still open to you, just as there are with the other 17 vaccines that are mandatory in the military. You can seek a religious exemption, or you can prove that you can suffer health consequences like an allergy, just as you do with the other vaccines. So, the numbers for that, it's unclear how many people actually seek that kind of waivers for other vaccines. But, that is something that is still available, but still too early to tell what the military will do to you if you choose not to take the vaccine.
I'm wondering, too, if there's somebody who's going to split hairs, who's going to say, hey, I signed up for the military 2 years ago, before COVID was even a thing. And even though I signed on the dotted line and said that, yes, I would abide by all the restrictions and inoculations and all that, I signed at that time before COVID was a thing. Now you're putting something else on me that I didn't agree to back in the day. I'm wondering even how that would work or if that would end up in court.
That's an interesting scenario, Jen, and one I don't honestly have an answer for, but I can tell you that what they did stress yesterday at the Pentagon was the notion that even before this becomes a mandatory thing, we're essentially Austin's words yesterday in the memo were a warning order to the force that, hey, go out there and get this vaccination right now while it's still voluntary, while it's still your choice, because ultimately it's about readiness for the force and making sure that your fellow sailor, your fellow soldier is protected from something that could impact the readiness of the force. So they're stressing that it's still voluntary up until, whenever this does happen, but that they're saying that it's to the benefit of you, and not only you, but your fellow service members.
All right. Louis, thanks for explaining it. We'll keep an eye on this one.
Thanks, Jen.
See you later. That's ABC's Louis Martinez. I don't know. So many questions. And I know, at least for my husband, it was just never this wasn't necessarily an issue. Because he got the shot very early on. But I'm just talking about overall, when it came to health, it would just be like, oh, I got to go get my flu shot. Oh, I got to make sure that my dental is up to date. And you know how much he loved that. Whatever it was, you just had kind of a list, and it was like a checklist, and you were notified or whatever if you were missing something or that you needed to go get something or whatever it is. And so this then would just be added to that list. And for a lot of people, it's just going to be, all right, that's just one more thing to add. But for somebody who is just dead set against it, and there are many members of the military who say, no way, we don't want this vaccine. What do they do then? And well, they say, you can't make me do this because I didn't sign up for this. Although, I think that would go with a lot of things in the military. A lot of guys have to go off, and women, have to go off to wars that they don't believe in. But they signed up for that. And they do it because that is what they signed up for. So I don't know. Well, family members and supporters of a man shot and killed by police in Fullerton say they don't believe the DA's finding that the shooting was justified. Hector Hernandez's teen stepson had called police in May of last year. He said Hernandez had been drinking, threatened family members with a knife, and fired a gun inside the house. The DA found the officer shot Hernandez because the man had a knife, which he used to stab a police dog and was a threat to the officer. The DA's report cites statements by the officer, body cam footage, and witness accounts. Robert Durst has denied killing his friend Susan Berman in her Benedict Canyon home in 2000. He testified yesterday in his murder trial. Prosecutors say Durst shot Berman because she was about to tell investigators about his involvement in his wife's disappearance in 1982. He says he didn't kill Berman and he doesn't know who did. A new DNA crime forensic technique used in Newport Beach has helped solve a decades-old cold case murder for the first time in the nation.
A limited genetic profile was first created in 2002 from the roots of hairs left on a boat where Judith Nesbitt was violently attacked, robbed, shot, and killed in 1980. It wasn't until 2018 when the new technique allowed for an expanded profile to be extracted from the hair shaft. Now, cops say investigative genetic genealogy has identified Kenneth Marks as the killer. Marks died in 1999 without ever being linked to the murder, but Newport Beach Police Chief John Lewis says Marks no longer gets to hold the secret of his deeds. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Well, firefighters say they've made some progress in the fight against the massive wildfire burning in Northern California. They say they've cut thousands of acres of fire lines. The fire in the North Sierra Nevada has destroyed more than 600 homes and other buildings. It's 22% contained, which I think is down because we were at 35% at one point. But officials say hot, dry weather and gusty winds could fan it over the next few days. They just can't catch a break. California has another plan to get people vaccinated against COVID-19.
The California Department of Healthcare Services says it's spending $350 million to vaccinate more people on the state's Medicaid program. Medicaid is the joint state and federal health insurance program for people who are disabled or have low incomes. About 76% of residents 12 and older have received at least one dose of the vaccine, but only 45% of the state's Medicaid population has been vaccinated. The state has added new incentives to get the vaccine, including up to $50 grocery store gift cards. Deborah Mark, KFI News.
Lawmakers in the Senate are expected to give final approval for President Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure plan later this morning. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the goal has been to pass the bill before lawmakers leave for the August recess.
It has taken quite a long time, and there have been detours and everything else, but this will do a whole lot of good for America.
If the infrastructure bill passes in the Senate, its next stop will be the House. And a member of the British royal family is being sued by one of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers over claims of sexual assault. Lawyers for Virginia Giuffre have filed court documents suing Prince Andrew for damages related to the alleged abuse that she says happened when she was 17.
Giuffre says Epstein and longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly directed her to have sex with Prince Andrew on 3 occasions in 2001. Included in the filings, a photograph of Giuffre standing beside the prince.
ABC's Janae Norman says Andrew has denied the allegations. All right, when we come back, it's your Biz Bites, and teachers in Florida who want to enforce a mask mandate may get more than just a timeout if the governor has his way. Also, we'll tell you why a fast food chain is debating using an Olympian as one of its spokespeople, and a pizza chain plans to give away millions, and I mean millions of dollars in food because it wants to take on DoorDash. I'll tell you which one. Right now, let's look at this crash on the 14.
In the Palmdale area on the southbound side, right around Pear Blossom Highway or Angelo Sports Highway, it's the two middle lanes blocked by a wreck and seeing a pretty rough go of it for your drive on the 14 southbound, almost from as far back as Avenue S. Got an update on this or anything else slowing you down? Pound 250 on your cell phone. Keyword is KFI traffic. Also seeing delays for you heading westbound along Pear Blossom Highway as you make it toward the 14. Looks like it's going to be a little bit slow going for your drive on the 5 southbound through the Castaic area. Looks like that's going to be about a half mile to 3/4 of a mile backup for you on the southbound 5 as you make your way toward Lake Hughes Road, and then northbound side of the 5 seeing a bit of a rough go of it for you from about Rye Canyon as you make your way toward New Hall Ranch Road or the 126. KFI in the Sky helps get to there faster. I'm Nick Poliokini.
Rates subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount requirements apply. 60% loan to value and 740 FICO credit score. Certain restrictions apply. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lenders Law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender.
Unbelievable. Home loan rates have dropped again at IntelliLoan. Today, IntelliLoan is offering a 1.875% rate in the APR with no points and no lender fees. Did you hear that? A 1.875%. Don't think you qualify? I bet you haven't called IntelliLoan. You don't have to have perfect credit to get this great home loan. So lock in this unbelievably low 1.875% fixed rate in APR with no points and no lender fees. So call IntelliLoan before the rates go up. Call them at 1-800-918-6200. That's 1-800-918-6200. Or just go to IntelliLoan.com.
IntelliLoan. Borrow smart.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
The compact GLA proves it's not the size of the SUV in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the SUV. Learn more now about the nimble and ready for anything Mercedes-Benz vehicle at MBUSA.com. It's Colin Coward. Here's what's trending from iHeart Sports Network presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Dodgers moved Clayton Kershaw to the 60-day injured list with forearm tightness. LA's ace will be out until at least early September. LeBron James didn't need to do much to convince Carmelo Anthony to join the Lakers. Melo said James' pitch was, quote, "The time is now, I want you." And Lamar Jackson will not confirm if he'll get vaccinated. The MVP quarterback had COVID-19 twice in 8 months. I'm Misty Jordan.
Take the shortcut to your next great hire. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, Instant Match immediately delivers a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Well, it is inevitable, right? Hot Southern California summers.
Not in my house. We refer to them as the brisk, chilly California summers.
Well, that's because of your SolarMax solar panels.
Yep, I can keep my house cool without worrying about where the thermostat is, because with SolarMax, my electricity practically free.
SolarMax is local. They are right here in Southern California. They do have the best products and service going.
Yeah, that's going to mean excellent quality control, no middleman. Not only that, I save even more with SolarMax with no upfront costs. And they have the newest, most innovative Tesla products, like the Tesla 420 panels and the Powerwalls.
Right now, you can get the Tesla 420 panels and Powerwalls for $79.96 per month at zero down.
Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. Say the keyword SolarMax. That's pound 250, keyword SolarMax by August 31st for this great offer. Monthly payment available on food credit, CSLB number 97204.
When it comes to the tools in your garage, it's all about lithium-ion. Plenty of power, maximum efficiency, and a longer life. Introducing Novalift lithium-ion powered forklifts. All the power and efficiency you need and essentially maintenance-free. With a dramatic savings in overall cost of ownership, Novalift forklifts pay for themselves over time, and that increases your bottom line. Novalift, revolutionizing the material handling industry one job at a time. What's in your warehouse? Contact us today for a cost analysis at novaliftna.com/save.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com.
Hey, Gary, how are things?
Things are great, but I crushed my mortgage payment without even leaving my couch. I got a refi at a great low rate and only did it all in less than 3 weeks. It was easy, no muss, no fuss.
Be like Gary. Call Owning at 833-2-OWNING and crush your mortgage payment with today's 15-year fixed refi at 1.5% rate, 1.912% APR. That's right, 15-year fixed at 1.5% rate, 1.912% APR. Even if you've refinanced recently, call 833-2-OWNING and let us crush your monthly payment even more.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
You can crush it too with a 15-year fixed, 1.5%, 1.912% APR refi.
That's 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com.
When it comes to the ins and outs of business security, Bay Alarm brings the best, like access control systems to protect your people and your property. Because if your security is not the best, you're not secure. Now, more than ever, Bay Alarm. ACO 28CCL 880138.
About a quarter of Democrats want him out. Well, yeah, because he's a schmuck.
He's being supported by the diehard partisans who think they're on a football team or something.
This is not a football team. This is a state that's run terribly. Do you really need any more than that?
John and Ken.
What else do you want to know?
Weekdays at 2.
He's bad at his job.
On KFI.
Show me that heaven's right here, baby. Touch me so I know I'm not crazy. Never, ever met somebody like you.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Welcome to a Tuesday morning. Thanks for making me part